Back against the wall, clocks ticking, divine signs, universe aligned. Rhythm in these hard times, patience my grind, faith thicker than gold
Good
mines.
Friday
In the darkness,
morning,
man, the bright light
YouTube.
always shines.
Let's see, I've got to keep track of the time today. So we're going to try to keep this video maybe like 20 minutes, 25 minutes, depending on whether or not I get good interactions right now. I have all day to do a couple of these lives, and depending on how much interaction and conversation I can get, I will pick one of those lives to go up on YouTube for my Overcoming Obstacles episode today. And so for anybody watching on YouTube, hello, hi, welcome to another episode of Overcoming Obstacles. I am once again doing a live session on another platform. I don't know why I don't want to say what platform I'm using. I've said it in another video, so I think if you watch that video, you already know what I'm using. I just, for some reason, don't want to... I want people from this platform that I'm doing the live to find my YouTube channel. But for some reason, I don't want people on YouTube to go and look for my other... for this account. It's not that I'm hiding anything. It's kind of like I use one to kind of do a day-to-day on my work, and then this YouTube channel I use to make the Overcoming Obstacles podcast and kind of record my journey, and it's more of like my experience with what I'm going through in life and trying to grow. And the other one is just kind of like vlogging my work. I'll put up little clips of the episodes that I make on YouTube. So I promote my YouTube on the other one. I just don't want to promote the other one on YouTube, or vice versa. So right now I'm doing the live on another platform. I'm waiting for people to join the live. But while I wait for people to come on and hopefully stay on, because it's very hard to keep their attention and have people interact, I am going to go ahead and introduce the episode and talk a little about what the topic is, and explain what this whole episode is going to be about, right? The topic. So in the live stream, I titled it, I already forgot the name. I think is fear necessary to live? Or why do we need fear? Something like that. I can't look at what I named it. So while I'm waiting for people to hop on the live and hopefully answer the question and comment and get a little bit of interaction from people, I'm going to go ahead and make the intro for the YouTube episode and talk a little bit about how fear has made itself present in my own life, and situations that it might be harmful or not necessary, or times when I did think that I needed it. And I know that just to start off with, a lot of people are probably going to say that fear is necessary for survival. And it's kind of one of the things that I've thought about a lot, is if I didn't have fear in the past, in some moments, like fear of going into some kind of business deal, or like getting involved with certain people where I was kind of fearful, like, well, I don't know if they're going to take my money. I don't know if they're gonna be, if they have the best interest for me, which is a little bit of a fear. If I wouldn't have had that little sense of fear, I would have fallen victim to some kind of scam, or to some kind of like trick to be used to scam other people. For example, I used to do door-to-door knocking, and at first I was very excited to do it. It was kind of very exciting the way that I was hired and all that. Somebody came up to me at a gas station and was like, "Oh my gosh, you have this personality that I just like. I think you would be a great door-to-door salesman. You should come in and blah blah blah," right? So I end up going in. It's not some random thing. It's actually like I think it was cable, door-to-door knocking, like the whole cold knocking thing for cable, and like you go door to door and try to offer these packages and try to get people to sign up for the service, which I was like, oh dude, that's amazing that somebody would come up to me and tell me I have a good personality and blah blah blah. So I go, I do a little bit of training. They take me door to door, and I just start noticing that most of the people that were going to knock on their doors are brown, like me. And they kind of knew that I spoke Spanish, and most of the doors that we were knocking on were people who spoke Spanish. So it was a very quick realization that they needed somebody who looked and talked like, a brown American. And I was the only one in the group who did speak Spanish and who did look like a brown American. And all the doors that we would knock on, they'd kind of be like, okay, so you're going to go and I'm going to tell you what to say. You're going to translate it. And then you'll translate what they're saying to me. And I'll tell you what to say next. And before I knew it, I had like 4 or 5 people who were signing up. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so good at this. But all I was doing was repeating what they were telling me and translating, right? So I go home. I start really quick while I'm in the store. Yes, you can inbox me. Just please don't inbox me with any offers or, things about trying to get me to come and sign up for things or things like that. But I start noticing that they're doing this, the whole translating stuff. And it's not a fear, but it's kind of like a suspicion, which is almost like a fear, that told me, oh, they're just using you to translate. And you don't even know what they're selling. And if this is going to be, I knew it was like cable and TV. And they do send people out and they connect them, but they're overcharging them, or what's going on, So very quickly I figured out they were kind of just using me to be that, like, so that people would be accepting of the message and more comfortable because I spoke Spanish. And they were able to translate everything that they needed to say, their whole deal and everything, in order to draw in a more, a different type of person in a certain area. That kind of fear it was more of an instinct, right? And then there's been other situations where, let's say there was an area that I was, it was a fear, like, maybe I shouldn't be hanging out in an area where there's a lot of people who look like they might be carrying guns. Or maybe I shouldn't be hanging out with people who have guns, and I know that, and they're drinking a lot. And it's well known that they have problems with other people, right? And then all of a sudden, one day when this thought and this fear is happening, just so happens when somebody is almost ran over by a car, and somebody pulls a gun out and actually aims it into the crowd. And mind you, at that time, this was way back after high school, like a year after my high school. And at that time, I was engaged. I had my fiance with me, who ended up having my daughter. But I had her with me at one of these parties. And the whole time I knew I shouldn't have been there. I knew it was dangerous. But, I didn't listen to that instinct. So I don't know if that was a fear or not. But there's been other times where there's a different type of fear that's kept me from doing things in my life or trying new things or holding myself back from good opportunities. Like just some random fear like, oh, they're not going to want somebody like me. Or you know what, that place is too far. I shouldn't go. I'm not going to be able to make it there. My car might break down, this and that. And I don't go and I miss out on a big opportunity. So, my question has always been, is fear necessary in life? And what would happen if we lived a life without fear? So, I've had a couple of comments already, but nothing that's been answered. I'm still waiting for people to join. I had somebody ask me if they can inbox me. Like I said, I might or might not upload this to YouTube. What I might do is take that first part, or this first part, and just have it as my intro, and then do another live later and see if I can get people to come on and comment. But I gotta keep the video short because it's they won't upload onto YouTube if I have them too long, because all I'm using is my phone. I'm looking into later on, when I have more space, I'm probably gonna have my own studio and everything. But the videos need to be short in order for me to upload them to YouTube and be able to save them. Again, Emperor, late as always, man. You didn't set those reminders. You didn't put the notification. For anybody watching on YouTube, I'm going to keep this part as the intro. And I just want to shout out my friend Emperor Maximiliano. Emperor Maximiliano, who always ends up joining late. He's been wanting my social. He's been wanting all of my information. But I tell him to get on as soon as I get on so we can talk about it. Because I've been saying this whole video that I'm trying to keep the video short so that I can have it uploaded to YouTube later. Sorry, Emperor, you got on here too late. What, you remember the whole thing about the early bird, man? Early bird gets the social. But you joined late again. I'm trying to keep this video short. I'm probably going to make this the introduction for the YouTube video. And then later on, I'll hop on again, see if I can get any more interactions. Really quick, before I get off, Emperor, have you read the title of the video? Is fear necessary in life? If you want to put in your 2 cents on that. Really quickly. Or if you're going to sign off. Is fear necessary in life? Is there any reason that we should continue being fearful? Is fear necessary in life? Do we need fear? Do you need fear to survive? Do you think it would be better if we just lived a life where we didn't fear? Has there ever been a situation where fear actually worked out for you, or a time where fear has held you back. Emperor says, yes, fear is necessary, otherwise the world will be mayhem. Interesting. So you think fear keeps the world in check? You think people can use fear against you to keep you in line? And do you think sometimes that's necessary for a society to do so that it doesn't go in a direction it's not needed? Or do you think sometimes people abuse that and put fear into people in order to control them and keep them in certain positions? Real quick, I'm about to sign off. I know you wanted my social and all that, so Christ us Rex. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I saw you last time. He answered the question about is anger necessary, or how do you deal with anger? Emperor Maximilio. So Emperor says keep certain people in check. Fear keeps certain people in check. Also stops you when you have second thoughts on the consequences. Keep certain people in check. Also stops you when you have second thoughts on the consequences. So fear can be a tool to kind of like herd the sheep, right? If you tell the sheep, there's wolves over there, the sheep won't go over there. But could it also work in a certain way where you don't want the sheep to go in the grassy area and eat the good grass, so you tell them, stay away from there, there's wolves, when there's no wolves? That way that grass is kept for a certain purpose, and you lie to the sheep in order to keep them away from there. And then he says, also stops you when you have second thoughts on the consequences. Is that more of an instinct, though? Like, I know that I wouldn't, let's say, if there's a hole filled with a bunch of venomous snakes, and there's a, obvious danger inside that hole, and everything tells me, don't put your arms, your legs, don't do anything, don't get close to that hole. Is that a fear, or is that just like common sense? Like, I know I will get hurt if I go in there. Policing is also a made-up concept to control a herd. Policing is also a made-up concept. Like the police? Let's see, what time did I start this? I want to keep it under 10 minutes. I might go on later again just to add a little bit more to it. But if you're watching, it's been an interesting... I got a little bit of conversation. Thank you, Emperor Maximiliano, who actually got involved with this conversation. And if you guys want to go and check out this episode, I'm going to post it up on YouTube. If you go to this page and look at my pinned videos, you will see a little post with my YouTube channel. And I'm going to save this video and post it up. You guys can see the whole thing and go back and rewatch it. But I'm having finally a good conversation about the topic of the question, which is fear necessary in order to live. Policing is also a made-up concept to control the herd. It is, but it also, it protects people. Police, I believe that, there have been, like, my parents have been guilty of saying, you better behave, or I'm going to call or the police are going to come and get you and arrest you. So they've used the police to scare people, definitely. But at the same time, there's been situations where the police needed to be called in order for everybody to be safe. So I guess it can work both ways. Alright, so just to be safe, I'm going to end this video here. I'm going to do this as my intro. I'll probably go on later and do, I'll try to get a little bit more interaction just so that I could have a little bit more added to the YouTube. Thank you, Emperor Maximiliano, for putting your 2 cents in and having a conversation about this. For anybody else who just joined or is watching, or I'll probably put a little clip on TikTok. Oh, there it goes again. I'll put a post up and let you guys know when I upload it to YouTube, and you guys can go check it out and see that episode of Overcoming Obstacles on my YouTube. My YouTube channel is linked, not linked, but there's a post on this platform that I pinned up. Again, thank you, Emperor Maximiliano. Next time, set your bell, man. You're always late. I know you want that social, son. I'll see you guys again later. I'm going to sign off. For everybody on YouTube, if I kept the video this short, I am going to start the music here and let my voice fade.
Through the ache we find the light, a tapestry from thread pulled tight. Through the pain we rise anew, with every fall the skies turn blue. A melody born from life's refrain, we find our strength through the strain.